This is Ricky from WatchMojo, and today we're talking everything Infinity War. If you haven't seen Infinity War, what are you waiting for? Go watch it right now because there are a ton of spoilers ahead.
I hope they remember you.
This entry brought Thanos to Tony Stark's doorstep. Together, the Avengers fought until the very end, but despite their best efforts, half the universe was erased and the MCU was forever changed with a snap of a finger. So how did this cinematic juggernaut change the course of the MCU we know and love? Adrian is on the case to give us some answers.
For this list, we're taking a look at major plot details from Avengers Infinity War that drastically shook up the MCU's status quo. Number 5. Thor's got a new weapon.
Sounds like you had a pretty special and intimate relationship with this hammer, and that losing it was almost comparable to losing a loved one.
It's a nice way of putting it.
The God of Thunder lost a lot in Thor Ragnarok, including his hammer. Thor suffered an even greater loss in Infinity War, with the deaths of numerous Asgardians aboard his spacecraft. Hell-bent on stopping Thanos, Thor sets out to make a weapon on par with Mjolnir. Along with Groot and Rocket, Thor travels to Nidavellir and enlists the help of a giant dwarf named Eitri. Together, our heroes forge a battle axe dubbed Stormbreaker. Thor actually comes close to slaying Thanos with his new weapon, if only he had aimed for the head. Nevertheless, Stormbreaker is sure to come in handy again in Avengers 4.
Without my hammer, I can't.
Are you Thor, the god of hammers?
Number 4. Saving Tony Stark.
I hope they remember you.
For a second there, it looked like Tony Stark was done for. Although Doctor Strange spends much of the movie protecting the Time Stone at all costs, he gives it up in order to prevent Thanos from killing Tony Stark. Although Tony's life is spared, this decision puts countless others in jeopardy. Half of all life in the universe, to be exact. As risky as this gamble might have been, Strange only foresaw one possible future where Thanos actually loses. With Strange's final words being, "It was the only way," we can assume that Tony is integral to Thanos' defeat.
I am Iron Man.
Number 3. Captain Marvel is coming. Before Nick Fury completely disintegrates in a post-credit scene, he uses his final moments to send out a signal. While Fury doesn't say who he's trying to contact, the star symbol on his transmitter pretty much spells it out to the audience. Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, will become the MCU's first heroine to helm a solo movie. Set in the 1990s, this film will not only find Captain Marvel in the middle of an intergalactic war, but also explore a younger Nick Fury's introduction to the world of superheroes. Aside from providing some much-needed backstory, this film will set the stage for Avengers 4, where Captain Marvel is destined to play another important role. Number 2. Characters who died before the snap.
I saw you die. I mourned you. I cried for you.
I'm honored.
The grand finale saw many fan favorites bite the dust, pun intended. Before we get to that, however, let's talk about all the characters Thanos killed before snapping his fingers. Infinity War opened with a bang, as Heimdall was killed while saving the Hulk, and Loki had the life choked out of him. If you think the God of Mischief has another resurrection up his sleeve, Thanos would beg to differ. There wasn't a dry eye in the theater when Thanos sacrificed Gamora to achieve the Soul Stone. Then, to complete the gauntlet, Thanos ripped the Mind Stone out of Vision's head. We all know Thanos will return, but the same can't be guaranteed for these characters. Number 1, half of the universe is gone.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe.
Now that's a cliffhanger. In one fell swoop, Thanos wiped out half of all life in the universe. The lengthy list of casualties included Black Panther, Drax, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Groot, Maria Hill, Nick Fury, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, and the Winter Soldier. Despite the fact that many, if not all of these characters, probably won't stay dead, especially since some of them have sequels on the horizon, something as traumatic as this will certainly have a continued effect long after Avengers 4. Even if the remaining Avengers find a way to bring them back, though, such an endeavor would likely come with great sacrifice. In any case, the MCU is going to look a lot different as it enters its 4th phase.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist.
What did Doctor Strange see that would make him give Thanos the Time Stone? Are the Avengers really gone, or are they just trapped in the Soul Stone? And most importantly, will we ever get the image of Peter fading in Tony's arms out of our heads? For a deeper dive into these Marvel mysteries, Adrian explores our top unanswered questions.
Number 5. What has Nick Fury been up to?
Who the hell are you? Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nick Fury was instrumental in bringing the Avengers together and frequently appeared in Marvel's first 2 phases. Since the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D., however, Nick Fury has only appeared in Age of Ultron, operating from the shadows after faking his death. Of course, Fury is a man with a contingency for every situation, and while he isn't involved with the reformed S.H.I.E.L.D., his re-emergence in Infinity War's post-credits scene confirmed he and Maria Hill were still working on something. Before being erased from existence, Fury was able to signal Captain Marvel, and with Samuel L. Jackson set to appear in her upcoming film, some questions about his plans are sure to be answered.
You need to keep both eyes open.
Number 4. What happened on Xandar?
By the authority of the Nova Corps, you are under arrest.
In Guardians of the Galaxy, we were introduced to the Nova Corps, as well as their headquarters on Xandar. The film's finale saw Xandar almost destroyed by Ronan with the help of the Power Stone. After Ronan's defeat, the stone was securely sealed away by the Nova Corps, and it wasn't seen again until the opening of Infinity War, already in Thanos' possession. Thanos' attack on Xandar and battle against the Nova Corps likely won't be touched on in Avengers 4, but if rumors of a Nova movie are true, we could get some answers in the future, and learn the fates of the Nova Corps characters played by Glenn Close and John C. Reilly.
We'd like to express our profound gratitude for your help in saving Xandar.
Number 3. Where have the Guardians been?
So we're saving the galaxy again? I guess. Awesome!
Thanks to films like Captain America: Civil War and Thor: Ragnarok, audiences have a pretty good understanding of what the heroes in Infinity War have been doing leading up to the epic crossover. There is one exception, however, as the Guardians of the Galaxy last appeared in Guardians Volume 2, which, rather than being set when it was released, takes place only months after Guardians 1. This means the last time the team was accounted for was after Yondu's funeral in 2014. So what has the team been doing for the past 4 years, other than flying through space and listening to Star-Lord's Zune?
It's got 300 songs on it. 300 songs?
Number 2. Where is Valkyrie?
Many apologies, Your Majesty.
Thor: Ragnarok ended with the Revengers, a team made of Thor, Hulk, and Loki, and the newly introduced Valkyrie, saving the Asgardians from the destruction of their home. However, their ship was attacked by Thanos in Infinity War. And while Thor, Loki, and Hulk were all accounted for, Valkyrie was nowhere to be seen. Not only that, but Thor's allies from Sakaar, including the hilarious Rockman Korg, were MIA as well. Thor later confirms that only half of the Asgardians were killed, meaning that it's likely Valkyrie is still alive, along with Thor's ally Lady Sif, who herself was absent from Ragnarok. With any luck, we will see Valkyrie, Sif, and Korg return in Avengers 4.
What have you brought today? Tell me.
A contender.
What?
Number 1. What about everyone else?
You look like an asshole.
Your scarf.
Of course, Valkyrie wasn't the only character whose fate was left uncertain when half the universe died. Shuri and Pepper Potts were nowhere to be seen at the film's end, and Ant-Man and Hawkeye were also both notably absent, bar a quick line that said they're under house arrest. There are also dozens of characters from Marvel TV to consider. While Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has tied into Infinity War, how heroes like the Defenders, the Runaways, the Inhumans, and the Punisher were affected by the Universal Genocide remains a mystery, at least for the time being.
You said alive, right?
While the universe doesn't look too good right now, there are heroes, old and new, who have stood up to Thanos. From our favorite merc with a mouth to the galaxy's greatest destroyer, we reveal the heroes who have taken down the Mad Titan.
For this list, we're looking at characters who have defeated the infamous Marvel Comics supervillain, either through combat or trickery. Number 10. Lockjaw. The loyal guard dog of the Inhuman royal family, this giant bulldog is more than just a friendly pet. With the ability to teleport himself and others across insane distances, he acts as the Inhuman's primary mode of transportation. He's often used this ability to defeat enemies, a trick that Thanos experienced firsthand. When the Colossal Canine was leading a group of other animal heroes in search of the Infinity Gems, Thanos arrived and kicked off a massive brawl. After trading some energy beams with the villain, the Inhuman Hound teleported his enemy to an alternate dimension, ending the fight and proving himself to be a very good boy. Number 9. Squirrel Girl. You might think that a superhero with the proportionate strength and agility of a squirrel, as well as the power to speak to the furry critters, wouldn't be much of a threat. In this case, you'd be 100% wrong. This squirrely crime fighter has fought and defeated a number of Marvel villains, including the Mad Titan himself. Unfortunately for us, we never got to see their brawl. As we joined the action in the aftermath, Thanos got his purple butt handed to him pretty badly. So badly, in fact, that the Watcher showed up to see how things played out and assured us that this was, in fact, the real Thanos. Number 8. Thane. This relatively new addition to the Marvel pantheon is one of the few beings capable of defeating Thanos, who is, in fact, his dear old dad. The child of Thanos and an inhuman woman, the young man grew up in a secret inhuman city in Greenland, only realizing his horrifying lineage when he was exposed to the Terrigen mists. Despite being relatively young and untrained, he's got some pretty impressive powers, including the ability to encase his foes in an amber-like substance, which traps them in a state of living death. It was this ability that he used to defeat his father. Number 7. Captain Marvel. This alien hero's role as one of Earth's champions brought him up against Thanos on more than a few occasions, and the two quickly became arch enemies. As is often the case with the whole villain-hero dynamic, the alien hero usually came out on top when he butted cosmic heads with his arch foe. On one memorable occasion, he even saved Earth when Thanos used his powerful cosmic cube to assume complete control of Earth. Years after his death, an evil alternate version of the deceased hero known as Lord Marvel also gave Thanos a run for his money, as he came from a timeline where life itself had begun to rage out of control. Number 6. Doctor Doom. In the 2015 mega event Secret Wars, the Fantastic Four's old enemy became the most powerful being in existence when he absorbed the powers of an alien race called the Beyonders. Using this power, he mashed various alternate realities together to form a new world, over which he reigned supreme as a god king. Thanos, being Thanos, tried to step up and take a piece of this action for himself, but in a dramatic turn, he was reduced to a charred skeleton in seconds. It just goes to show, never punch above your weight class, especially when your opponent's name includes the term God King. Lesson learned, Thanos? Number 5. Thor. Given his status as protector of Asgard and founding member of the Avengers, the Odinson and Thanos have fought a number of times, but few as dramatic as this. After gathering a number of powerful artifacts including the Illumination Stone, the Map of All Ending, and the Chalice of Ruins, Thanos had attained the power of a god for what must have been the third or fourth time. After a pitched battle with the Odinson, it looked as though Thanos might manage to hold on to his newly attained power this time, but a new suit of magical armor provided by Odin turned the tide of battle. Thankfully, Odin had some experience in Thanos busting himself. Number 4. Deadpool. The merc with a mouth is one tough cookie, but can he really go up against Thanos himself? The two have long held a rivalry given their relationship to death. While Thanos has spent decades pursuing the affections of Mistress Death, the Grim Reaper apparently likes her men a bit less on the magenta side. Naturally, this has resulted in a few tense confrontations between Thanos and Wade. On one memorable occasion, the regenerating degenerate even channeled the legendary Unipower, a cosmic power that bought him enough time to convince Death to kick Thanos to the curb yet again. All's fair in love and war, after all. Number 3. Galactus. You'd think that Thanos and the Devourer of Worlds would get along. After all, they both live to cause mass destruction on a cosmic level, and they're both evidently big fans of purple. But the two cosmic baddies have been aligned against one another for some time, trading world-shattering blows on several occasions. In one conflict, Thanos attempted to stop Galactus from destroying the planet Wriggle, as Thanos was trying to walk a more heroic path at the time. Without the powers of the Infinity Gauntlet or some similar cosmic artifact, the then former villain was overpowered by the cosmic Juggernaut. Number 2. Adam Warlock. The origins of this spacefaring hero are a bit on the complicated side, so let's save time by cutting to the chase. A longtime force for good in the Marvel Universe, he spent years fighting almost every cosmic villain out there, Thanos included. When Thanos finally assembled the powerful Infinity Gauntlet, it was this golden hero who led the charge against his longtime foe. Perhaps it was his memory of an earlier victory against Thanos, one that left the Mad Titan as an immobile statue, that made him confident enough to go up against the big bad again. Number 1. Drax the Destroyer. If you're going to create a being solely for the purpose of killing Thanos, you need to make him big, tough, and very good with a knife. Thankfully, this destruction-prone anti-hero is all of those things. Whether he's rocking his classic look of a big purple cape and a wrestling belt, or his more modernized appearance, this character has just one goal: to make the Mad Titan all kinds of dead. It may have taken him years, but in the Annihilation event, it finally happened in gloriously gory fashion. The only problem with this brutal defeat is that in typical comic book fashion, Thanos eventually returned. Come on, man, you had one job.
The Avengers are in the endgame. Obviously, this isn't the final chapter for Earth's mightiest heroes. We know that time and space are irrelevant in the quantum realm, and we know that Captain Marvel is coming. While we may not have the Eye of Agamotto, we do have Rebecca to take you through our Avengers 4 predictions.
For this list, we're predicting plot points and character arcs likely to be explored in the fourth Avengers film.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
Number 10. A Fox character will make a cameo.
I might play a role in this madness.
Christmas came early in late 2017 when it was announced that Disney would acquire 21st Century Fox for $52 billion, opening the door for the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and others to finally join the MCU. Since the deal is still being worked out, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has noted that we won't see any Fox characters, quote, for a handful of years. Considering the timing of this proposed acquisition, however, we have a feeling that at least one Fox character will pop up in Avengers 4, even if it's just during the post-credits tag. The Silver Surfer seems like the most probable candidate, especially given the significant role he played in the Infinity Gauntlet comic. Maybe he can even drop a hint at our next big bad in the MCU?
My people called it Galactus, the devourer of worlds.
Number 9. The Hulk will come out to smash.
Yes!
Thor Ragnarok might have centered on the God of Thunder, but it was also easily the greatest Incredible Hulk movie ever, where Ragnarok gave the big green guy plenty of time to shine. Infinity War allowed Bruce Banner a chance to breathe in his human form and play around with Tony Stark's Hulkbuster. It's understandable why the Hulk was reluctant to come out, seeing as how Thanos defeated him without breaking a sweat. After suffering such a monumental loss though, Banner and his alter ego will need to work together in Avengers 4, rounding out this Secret Hulk trilogy. As for what'll motivate Banner to Hulk out, Black Widow is sure to play a key role. Number 8. Hawkeye will fight for his family.
Clearly retirement doesn't suit you. You got tired of shooting golf?
Well, I played 18, shot 18. Just can't seem to miss.
He's not anyone's favorite Avenger, but Hawkeye was still sorely missed in Infinity War. While many expected Clint Barton to at least appear in the film, the most we got was a brief mention that he and Ant-Man were under house arrest following the events of Civil War. Hawkeye will undoubtedly be in Avengers 4, and chances are he'll go to some pretty dark places. Since Thanos snapped half of the universe out of existence, Hawkeye's family may be among the long list of casualties. Seeing his wife and children denigrate would most certainly influence Hawkeye to join the fight against Thanos.
It's the last project. I promise.
Number 7. The Time Stone will play a major role.
Best not to walk the streets wearing an Infinity Stone. A what? You might have a gift for the mystic arts, but you still have much to learn.
For anyone who's worried that their favorite hero is gone for good, don't forget about the Time Stone. Thanos already used the gem to bring back Vision, only to destroy him again. The Time Stone could also be used to resurrect other fallen characters, although getting it out of Thanos' grasp is easier said than done. This is where the Quantum Realm may enter the mix. As established in Ant-Man, this is an alternate dimension where space and time are irrelevant. Since the Quantum Realm will be further explored in Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, it could pave the way for the Avengers to travel back in time and reverse some of Thanos' damage.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist.
Number 6. The new Big Three will be established.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
With Avengers 4 marking the end of an era, the main trio of Thor, Cap, and Iron Man will probably have to pass the torch to another heroic trinity. Given his connection to the mystical, Doctor Strange seems poised to fill Thor's shoes. Black Panther and Cap fought side by side in the battle for Wakanda, so T'Challa could act as the resident super soldier, though we can't forget about Bucky and Falcon, either of whom could return from dust and take up Cap's shield. Tony's been a mentor for Peter Parker since Spidey's debut, so that seems to indicate an eventual passing of the torch.
I just wanted to be like you.
And I wanted you to be better.
Infinity War also teased the arrival of Captain Marvel, so only time will tell who will be the new primary faces of the MCU. Number 5. A few characters will stay dead.
I mourned you, I cried for you.
I'm honored.
Being some of the universe's most popular characters, we have a hard time believing that Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Star-Lord will remain ashes forever. Since bringing back every character would cheapen the impact of Infinity War though, a few heroes will likely remain dead. Anyone who bit the bullet before the big snap is probably gone for good. This could mean the end of the line for Heimdall and Loki, especially after the no resurrection comment from Thanos. Vision and Gamora might have slightly better odds of returning, but their fates are likely sealed. Number 4. The original Avengers will die for the new Avengers. While several fallen heroes have a good shot of making a comeback in Avengers 4, their resurrections won't come without a few sacrifices. It's obviously not a coincidence that the original Avengers were among the only survivors at the end of Infinity War. In keeping with the passing of the torch theme, Avengers 4 could see Captain America, Iron Man, and others give up their lives in order to save the next generation of heroes. Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. have all but outright admitted their desire to retire from the MCU. We just hope the filmmakers don't kill off all of the initial Avengers, especially since we haven't gotten a standalone Black Widow movie yet.
I'm always picking up after you boys.
Number 3. Nebula will wear the Infinity Gauntlet.
I will help them by killing Thanos.
Given the crucial role Gamora played in Infinity War, it'd be fitting if Avengers 4 put more emphasis on Thanos' other adoptive daughter. Nebula was actually an integral player in the Infinity Gauntlet comic. At one point, she even claims the gauntlet for herself, forcing Thanos to join forces with several others to overthrow her. If Nebula nabs the gauntlet in this movie, though, will she use it for good or evil? Throughout the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy films, we've seen Nebula act as both villain and anti-hero. Assuming Nebula falls back on her villainous habits, it might be time to release Adam Warlock and get the Infinity Watch going, though we might have to wait for Guardians 3 to see that.
I think I shall call him Adam.
Number 2. Our heroes are trapped in the Soul Stone. As mentioned before, those who perished after Thanos snapped his fingers have a good chance of returning. Unless Marvel is planning on setting the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel before Infinity War, they'll have to at least bring the webhead back. So how will the filmmakers resurrect these characters? According to this theory, anyone who turned into dust isn't technically dead. Rather, they're merely trapped in another dimension that exists within the Soul Stone. Characters like Gamora and Adam Warlock have been inside the Soul Gem in the comics, but we'll have to wait and see if that translates to the big screen.
I don't know what came over me, but I couldn't let you die.
Number 1. Iron Man will take down Thanos.
I hope they remember you.
Our jaws all dropped when Doctor Strange gave up the Time Stone to save Tony Stark, allowing half of the universe to be wiped out. Although many of us were confused at first, Strange's decision started to make sense when he told Tony it was the only way. Strange saw just one potential outcome where Thanos is stopped, and Iron Man will definitely be part of this premonition. We're guessing Tony's plan will build up to a final showdown between him and Thanos. Since Iron Man kicked off the MCU, who better than Tony to deliver the final blow?
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
That's it for us here at WatchMojo. If you love the Avengers and all things superhero, make sure to tune in next week when we'll explore the origins of classic heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe.